There are stories told in quiet living rooms, from sons and daughters, from neighbors and caregivers, about something strange that happened just before an elderly person fell. The cat had been acting off, sitting in the hallway, refusing to move, staring with unusual intensity, meowing insistently. And then, hours or sometimes minutes later, the fall happened. Doctors don't know how to explain it. There's no scan or test that proves what the cat felt, no official study that confirms what so many people have witnessed firsthand. But still, the pattern repeats, again and again. The cat knew, and it's not just luck or coincidence. In today's video, you'll discover why so many cats behave differently before their humans fall, what signs you should watch out for, and how this deep, often invisible connection might be your cat's way of silently protecting you before you even realize you're at risk. Because even though your cat may never speak a single word, their instincts might be far more powerful than science has ever admitted. If you've ever had your cat block your path out of nowhere, or suddenly follow your every move more closely than usual, you're not imagining things. This isn't just typical cat curiosity. These moments are real, and many cat owners, especially older adults, have noticed similar behaviors right before something happens. A stumble, a dizzy spell, a loss of balance they didn't see coming. And while science hasn't fully explained how cats detect these changes, animal behaviorists do agree on one thing. Cats are deeply sensitive to patterns. They notice how you walk, how you breathe, even how you hold your posture. When something shifts, even slightly, they pick up on it. Their world is all about silent observation, and when those tiny changes happen, many cats respond with unexpected behaviors that to the untrained eye might seem random or even annoying, but in reality could be quiet attempts to intervene. So, in this video, we'll walk through 5 of the most commonly reported signs that your cat might be sensing something is off, from the small, everyday signals most people ignore to the most surprising and emotional behavior of all. And it starts with something deceptively simple. The first behavior that might seem strange, but could be your cat's way of protecting you, is when they suddenly block your path. You're walking through the hallway, heading into the kitchen or bathroom, and there they are, lying across the doorway, sitting in front of your feet, not budging, even when you try to step over or around them. Most people assume their cat is just being stubborn or playful, but for many older cat owners, this happens right before a moment of imbalance or a near fall. And it's so common that researchers studying animal behavior have started to pay attention. Cats often settle in areas they feel are important or risky. If they sense that something's not quite right with the way you're walking or moving, maybe your step is slower, or your weight shifts differently, they may position themselves directly in your path. It's not aggression, and it's not random. It could be their instinctive way of making you stop, slow down, or take notice. And what comes next might be even more surprising because it has nothing to do with where your cat is, and everything to do with how they're looking at you. The next behavior that might seem subtle, but says a lot, is when your cat starts watching the way you walk more intensely than usual. Maybe you haven't even noticed it. You stand up from the couch, take a few steps, and suddenly realize your cat is staring, not in that relaxed, half-blinking way, but really watching you. Eyes wide, body alert, like they're trying to figure something out. This isn't just curiosity. Cats are experts in patterns and routine. They notice when your pace slows, when your steps become uneven, or when your posture changes just slightly. And when something's off, their attention sharpens. Some cats will follow more closely. Others might sit still but keep their eyes locked on your every movement. It's easy to dismiss this as just a weird cat moment, but many people who've experienced a fall later remember their cat acting this exact way just before it happened. They weren't staring for no reason. They were responding to something you couldn't yet feel. Another behavior that often catches people off guard, but maybe your cat's silent way of guarding you, is when they suddenly refuse to leave your side. You go to the kitchen, they follow, you sit down, they curl up right next to you, unusually close. Even when you get up, they stay alert, eyes tracking your every move, almost like they're glued to your shadow. At first, it might seem sweet, or maybe even clingy. But for many cat owners who've experienced falls or close calls, this kind of attachment often happens in the hours leading up to it. almost as if the cat senses something building and chooses not to let you out of their sight. Some cats will even meow more often, pace around you, or try to stay physically connected, rubbing up against your legs or jumping onto your lap unexpectedly. It's not random. It's protective. They're not trying to annoy you. They're trying to stay close, just in case. And the next sign might feel even more unusual. Because this time, your cat's behavior changes without any clear reason at all. One of the most overlooked, yet deeply telling behaviors is when your cat suddenly changes the way they act, with no clear explanation. Maybe your usually playful cat becomes quiet and distant, or the one who's normally independent starts watching you more closely, following you from room to room. Sometimes they stop playing altogether, sit in odd places, or seem more alert than usual, even in a calm environment. It's these subtle shifts that often go unnoticed until something happens. Many cat owners only realize in hindsight that their pet had been acting differently in the hours or even days before a fall, as if the cat picked up on something that no one else could see. A change in scent, in energy, in rhythm. Cats are incredibly perceptive. When something about you, your mood, your movement, your breathing, shifts, they respond. So if your cat suddenly behaves out of character without any visible trigger, it might be their way of preparing for something, or trying to warn you in the only way they know how. And the final behavior? It goes even deeper than instinct. It's emotional, and for many, unforgettable. The last and most touching behavior your cat might show, and the one that's often remembered long after, is when they try to warn you using sound or touch. This isn't your cat being vocal for food or attention. It's different. It's that strong, insistent meow that comes out of nowhere, the paw placed gently on your leg, the sudden jump into your lap when they usually wouldn't. Some even try to block you with their body or tap you as you walk by. These actions aren't random. In many reported cases, they happen minutes, sometimes even hours, before a fall. And they often come after your cat has already noticed something subtle in you, a change in the way you're moving, a shift in your scent, even a difference in your breathing pattern or energy. Cats are incredibly sensitive to the world around them and to the people they trust. When they feel something isn't right, some will act out with sound, others with touch, and sometimes both. It's not a coincidence. It's connection. Deep, quiet, and powerful. And even though they can't explain what they feel, and we may never fully understand how they know, these moments reveal just how far your cat will go to keep you safe. Your cat may never say a word, but if you've been paying attention, truly paying attention, you'll start to see it. The way they sit closer on certain days, the way they watch you more carefully, the way they position themselves between you and the next step, almost like a silent guardian. These aren't coincidences, they're quiet acts of care. Even when the world doesn't understand it, even when science can't explain it, your cat is tuned into you in ways we're only just beginning to understand. And if you listen closely, really listen, you'll realize they've been watching over you all along. But what if your cat doesn't just protect you from danger? What if they actually feel what you feel? New studies and emotional real-life stories suggest that cats can sense physical and emotional pain, and in some cases, they react in ways that are deeply moving. Some stay close, refusing to leave your side. Others change their own routine, sleep patterns, even their appetite, just because something in you is hurting. It's not just empathy, it's something far more intimate. If you've ever suspected that your cat knows when you're unwell or feeling low, you're not imagining it. Click on the video that just appeared on your screen to uncover how your cat may be silently sharing your pain, and what they do about it might stay with you forever. I'll see you there.